fact that they're down against a team like GENG get into their heads. They don't think, oh, Chovy's ahead, we can't kill him. Like, Chovy was ahead on Azir, he had Flash and Zhonya's, Inspired was like, we're gonna kill him anyway, and they did. So I love that confidence that came out with him. We do now see GENG on the blue side, FlyQuest on the red side, going into game 2. A lot of picks taken off the cards, obviously, with Fearless, so we'll see how the priority changes. Obviously, in game 1, we saw like the Varus and Pantheon banned away on red side, so I expect that to be the same.
Yeah, Varus is definitely so far the AD carry, or rather pick of the tournament. I think it was still great at MSI, but it just feels like here it's had that extra layer. So no wonder that's banned away. Pantheon alongside with it. Now that Vi's gone, now that Skarner's gone, things like Wukong come into mind, Orcs, the Annie pairing is something worth mentioning as well with Taliyah down.
Interesting to see this Karma blue side ban priority rising up, because we saw FlyQuest ban that on blue side in game 1.
True.
And now GENG banning that on blue side in game 2. Do you see the Varus and Pantheon taken away here? And, you know, I think things like the Azir and the Taliyah gone end up going for the Annie as a ban away.
I think Wukong's B1able.
Potentially. I mean, there's still like the Xin Zhao available, so I think there's no huge pressure to put a massive priority into jungle. And I think with all those mid lane bans, the Rise coming through makes a lot of sense.
Now maybe that jungle priority for Flight just comes in straight away for Inspired. Inspired on something that can make something happen early. Xin Zhao hits that mark completely.
I think especially like the mid lane pool, if you think about the fact that it's not just we've lost Azir and Taliyah, and then we have you know, 3 bans.
It's a Cassio.
But then also the Aurora's gone. But yeah, I mean, Cassio, good matchup into Rise, and also a quad specialty. You know, and on top of that, looking at this Trundle, you know, in a mobile pick like the Rise, could be pretty powerful, having that pillar to just cause some issues.
This is just a normal hover for Fly. I mean, this happens constantly. Will it get locked in? No. Sen is something again. Another AD carry we've seen really successful at EWC so far.
It's been doing so much work at this tournament. Really high win rate so far.
Yep.
And particularly into the Rise, I feel like Rise does well when he's played into a composition that kind of has to come into him. Shorter range champions, you can get that spell flux. Into this, he's going to struggle to walk up to the Cassiopeia, but also the Senna just outranges quite hard.
Senna's 100% by the way. 3 out of 3 games.
Yep, been doing well. Do you like the Wukong though? Something that can close the gap onto these picks. Not going to have too much of a fun time into the Cassiopeia, but you have some trickery you can play around. Kind of force out the miasma, maybe dodge away. And the Gwen comes through as well for Keen. And Whippo had a rough game in game 1, so we'll see what they opt to go for.
Oh my God, you're joking. Okay, so FlyQuest have smashed in the Cassio, and then Whippo says, good matchup into Gwen. I'm just going to pick Set.
Yeah, I mean, I guess feels confident on it is something that he played at MSI. So, see what he can do with his pick. A lot of CC, a lot of control already on the side of FlyQuest, while having that Senna, that long-range insurance. And they're going to ban away the Caitlyn, so limiting some of those ranged AD carry options that Rula can go for. Jhin probably also something that you might want to take away. Alistar ban going to come through. Senna Alistar's been super popular. I think Nautilus could also be a ban.
Yep.
Although Braum is still open and available.
Maybe GENG hoping they can finish with Rel here for the comp as well. Because it does feel like for GENG's comp, that all-in with Wukong, reliable snap engage just looks so nice.
I love Rakan with Wukong, but Rakan into Cassiopeia is miserable.
It's a nightmare, right?
It's miserable.
Is even, I mean, what do you think of Rel into Cassio? Is it a similar problem?
Not as bad.
Not as bad, but
it's
still there, but you're right, not as bad. Poppy gone in the end.
I mean, double grounding is not a fun time.
True.
Would really make that a little bit of a nightmare. And, you know, I said about the Braum, I mean, you could go Braum if like FlyQuest go Nautilus, which is a common pairing with a Senna, you could go Braum, but I feel like it might make it a little bit tricky to close the distance.
Yeah.
Oh, looking at potentially the Lilia here.
The comp, they are cooking.
Oh, I mean, the goal, I feel like, for GENG has to be to close distance, and running into this FlyQuest composition, the Lilia gets so much value. You know, the AoE sleep, really powerful, and you can see, looking at the picks GENG's considering, the Kai'Sa or the Zeri, it's on theme with what they have, but it plays perfectly into what FlyQuest has.
Hold up, let's see if this ruler pick is locked in. Lucian. Zen's been banned a lot in the second phase of this tournament. But Lucian, Brom, okay. Something that can play disengage as well, maybe kite back.
I don't think you already kite back that well against FlyQuest composition.
I mean, that's also true, right? There's so much chase there.
Yeah, I do think now the Nautilus feels a little bit uncomfortable playing into this. A lot of skirmishing power for GENG. You know, a lot of people who can proc that Braum passive, and those early fights, they will have a lot of power there. But I think if it gets to late 5v5, FlyQuest feels super confident with what they have. The only question is what they bring out in the support role. Rakan, I think, is a good matchup in the Braum. And the limitations I said of Rakan and the Cassiopeia, well, you know, Rakan, the only one there I think who really holds you accountable is the Rise, if you can get the root on you.
Yep.
But Braum, it's going to be tricky for him to lock down the Rakan, and as long as you can survive lane with the Senna, I mean, the 5v5 from FlyQuest is so strong.
It really is.
You got so much CC, you got so much peel, you have that long-range Senna who's going to cause so much problems. And GENG very much around these skirmishes, and it's not like that composition falls off a cliff. I just think FlyQuest has so many good tools into them as the game goes on. I think really, Ruler and Duro have to have a great laning phase. I think as well, Keen on this Gwen needs to get the ball rolling early.
Well, it is a lot about bot lane. Don't forget as well, the solo lanes of FlyQuest, great duelers. Not just Cassiopeia into the Rise, but Set into Gwen. I'm curious about the matchup because Set at level 1 especially will just run at you with Conqueror, which you assume is a matchup unless it's going to be a grasp lane, but he'll run at you and he'll take the fight. I'm really wondering about the spacing in that top lane. But regardless, FlyQuest have sent us up with a comp for a game 2. It's just full of mystery. It's great. Like, it's very innovative. You know, and I think FlyQuest, they cooked, but it does feel like they didn't overcook. It's elimination. And FlyQuest with this composition, I'll tell you what, they're putting up class. See if they can take us to a game 3.
So hoping to see, you know, I think game 1, despite it being a loss, if you think how badly it started for FlyQuest, and yet how much they challenged GENG, they really were close to having that comeback. They really made GENG work for the win. I think that should give them a lot of confidence coming into this game 2, convince them they can take this to 3 games at minimum.
The fans are out. But is it going to be a game 3 that we're going to be talking about? Let's go. GENG, see how they skirmish in this game, see how they survive through that bottom lane. On the other side, FlyQuest, Cassio, Set, got a center down bot. Yeah, there's a Lilia there too. This is great. All right. Cass no boots, by the way. Hello? Sorry, it's an old one, Ox. You know, you're an old player. You're like 41. You get it. Remember when Cass could buy boots?
30 seconds until
I do. You know what? Yeah, I've had this discussion before, but it's the fact that Cassiopeia can't buy boots, but like, what about Nami?
True. She's got to buy fins, bro. Like, she's not going to fleet.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of champions who I feel like also wouldn't buy. Like, Corky buys boots and it makes him go faster, but he's driving the plane. You know?
They should put little legs on the plane.
Right? And also, Inspired, playing Lilia buys 1 pair of boots.
Needs 2.
Yeah, what about Hecarim?
Yeah. Oh, how many legs does that guy have?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Some consistency. If you're willing to say Cassiopeia doesn't buy boots, right? You know, just make it consistent.
Also, I'm pretty sure, like, Rakan has claw feet. You know, he's a bird, right? So he wouldn't have normal boots.
I don't think he's like a full bird. I think he's like a bird person.
So he's like a mermaid, but for a bird. A bird person.
I mean, like, he has feet, right?
I don't know.
Well, he's in this game, so we'll be able to see him.
The important questions: who has feet, who does not? This is what I want to see.
He's not like Anivia. Anivia's just like a full
W start. Oh, King.
Oh, man.
It's not the true damage, but it is the damage on the side with a fully charged up shield.
Yeah.
This is what Set wants to do early. Run at you with Conqueror, get it fully stacked up. get those auto attacks in and try and win trades.
And this is a matchup that Whippo, so he did play set at MSI, but it wasn't into Gwen, but he did play set into Gwen against Cloud9 in the LTA North playoffs to great success. Won that matchup. So confident in this matchup, confident to bring it out against Keen, and doing pretty well with it so far. You can see Quad also happy with his matchup. So mid and top, both getting some good early momentum. Bot lane on a bit of the back foot, but we talked about this. It's very much a survival game for Masu and Busio playing this Rakan, Senna. Ruler just took a tower hit though and burnt the cleanse.
Yeah, for the damage. Quad also just flashed away from Canyon. Ruler's step up to the turret orcs. He just wanted the damage on the concussive blows, but I think that was what you'd call too far.
Yeah, and also the cleanse, maybe thought he had barrier, an uncharacteristic mistake, but he didn't cleanse anything.
No heal though. The trades are still going well. Ghost from Masu, but the Ghost is going to be a chase down. That's a two-man queue coming through from the center. It's going to continue up as a chase. The root's going to land. Ruler's one hit away. Flash from Masu as Ruler flashes first. Genji's bottom lane. He's all over the place.
What a flip. And this all came from Ruler taking that tower hit. The summoner's being burned, and Masu and Busio just walked forwards, got the healing out from their kits, and that's the thing, you know, obviously the pressure, those short trades around the Braum passive can go in favor, well, should go in favor of Lucian Braum, but the sustain is so heavily in favor of FlyQuest bot lane, and they managed to capitalize there.
Facebreak is now down. Whippo.
That's a little bit low on HP. If King gets one more stack, he can Q flash.
When he's this low, he gets good passive healing, but no. Keen won't let him. Really nice match, and Keen punishes Whippo.
Yeah, did just go for the Q flash, and I think Whippo, a little bit of disrespect there.
He facebreaked it, you know, way too early. He just did that in front of a Gwen.
Yeah, ends up paying for it, and this is not a good start. You know, the early levels were going well, and Whippo obviously went into this matchup confident in it, wanted some redemption for game one. But a 1-0 Gwen this early, it's got to feel bad. And it's a shame as well, because bot lane was going pretty well for FlyQuest.
Replay time. Where are we looking? We're looking top. Yeah, that face break. King just steps down.
Yeah, gets the Q, and then that E-auto, and then he's just ready, has the full stack, levels up the Q.
Oh my God.
The Q flashing knows Whippo was going to fly. I mean...
I just fucked up. Sorry, it's my bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry for the swearing, chat.
Keen just played that so well, and...
FlyQuest. Sync Quest. Whoa, that sign.
Yeah, Whippo, fortunately, obviously he knows he made a bit of a mistake.
Yeah.
And now Keen with the early plated steel caps, gonna be a little bit harder to deal with. Do end up getting a swap come through already, so Masu and Busio in the top lane.
Set also without flash in 1v2 against Braum when Canyon is passing down. As soon as he gets 6, that could be trouble as well. Keen steps up here, FlyQuest a 2v1. It's still looking good for soul stacking, but the W makes it a little bit annoying for the time being, means King can walk away.
Yeah, the steel caps as well, they're just not doing that much damage at this point. You know, they'll take the souls, like they're obviously happy to go for that trade, but in terms of actually doing anything to Keen, the pressure's not really there. We also see that despite the fact that there was a good trade from Masu and Busio, still down in farm compared to Ruler right now.
Canyon's on Dragon in the meantime as well. He'll hit level 5. Inspired is just farming up. I mean, Inspired last game was quite much the same as, I don't know what Lily is singing about. Hope it's happy.
He's having a good time farming.
He needs this game, yeah. Jungle roll. Attempted dive, but more so just to chunk out Keen. No damage comes down. Busio hits him in the end. Gleaming Quill for the heal. Inspired. It's nap time soon.
Oh, the W's down. The ult now.
Oh, yeah. Keen's needlework. Wave is thinned out.
Yeah, the wave's gone. The ult's available.
Inspired. 6 now, but yeah.
I think the moment's gone.
Okay.
I think they were trying to set up, if they got him a bit lower, if they burnt the W, I think maybe we were going to look to dive, but I think it's too risky. Because, you know, especially with the wave being gone, I don't think you go for it. Even if you get the kill, if he gets a kill back, if he gets 2, it's just game over. But I don't think it's bad for them to obviously set up, look for it. Masu gets some souls as well from it, and just applying the pressure.
Also, Inspired just took that whole topside jungle.
Yeah, he is super farm.
He's 57 to 36, and obviously Canyon's trying to reach 6, but him being a little bit delayed gives time for Quad, for example, to get his flash back up and available. So some of that pressure is now taken away.
I mean, I said this in the draft, but in this game, it is such a good Lilia composition to play Lilia into because, you know, there's not that much instantaneous CC to lock you up that you can't really, like, sort of skid around with your movement speed. Like, you have to... A lot of it's conditional. Like, Wukong has to commit his ult, but the CC's not that long. Chovy has to get their spell flux on you before he can root. The passive from Duro has to stack up. So when you have all that mobility, it's not easy to immediately pin down the Lilia, and everyone is so short-ranged, right? It's 3 melee champions, 2 short-range champions. So if Inspired gets ahead, he can really do so much work in these team fights.
Looks like Inspired again in another game where he needs to help carry in this game earlier on. The kill not meaning too much as Masu, hang on, has to go. But the damage is nuts. That's a pickaxe for you on Ruler early as Masu, that goes now down. He has to leave the lane, which means less souls. Early game stymied a little bit. Whippo's just going to ulti straight away. The Showstopper already down, waiting for the face breaker, and Haymaker in next, but Inspired doesn't land anything, so it's no sleepy time here for Gwen. What is deep, but he's okay.
Keen doing a good job there to be untargetable when the...
Try and gaze. Miasma down as well. Grounded for the time being. Chovy's going to run it out, and luckily he got the phase rush before the Petrifying Gaze, because otherwise Quad would have just sunk his fangs in. Oh, TP across map. We just see a Rakan floating as an orb from Dragon Ball.
They're looking for Ruler.
Yeah, they are going to find him as well. That root up is nice, but Massive, will he die in the process? Ruler with a culling blocked out by Busio. In the end, tries a relentless pursuit away. He's done so. Busio gets the flash and the kill. Ruler double summoners down again. That's a roughie here for Ruler.
So nice from the bot lane of FlyQuest, because not only do they get the kill, not only do they get both sums, but because Busio was the one to finish it off, Canyon has no response. You know, if Masu had flashed in there...
You're going to get Lullaby? Hang on, Juro's coming in, looking for 2 targets. A Q turns into a lilting Lullaby. There's the Drowsy. Inspired's done a good job, but over the wall, Canyon gets before the re-engage, and Keen is shredding them all, snipping them down to hell, and Juro setting up with the passive. Masu has the flash, but not before Busio dies in the process. Flash from Keen! And Gwen is taking us to sewing class this game.
Oh, such a disaster. You know, I think the play on a Ruler was great, but unfortunately, they thought they had an opportunity there, getting the sleep on a Canyon and Duro, but the sleep being burnt early backfired, because when Keen came in, there was nothing left to deal with this Gwen, and he is such a problem now. 3-0 for this Gwen. He is not something they can deal with at this moment.
Top wave going to be received by Inspired, but Fly's early game is in a rough spot.
Oh, Chovy might just be dead.
Maybe something back. Chovy walking down. Juro's here, though. Ground up at the time being. Good knock up here with the grand entrance from Busio. And again, with Quad getting the DPS down, there you go. Something of a punish from FlyQuest. Early game feels a little bit better, however slowly.
Good setup. The flanking Cassiopeia.
Yeah.
Doing a good job. Yeah, and I think this one was unfortunate because in this situation, like, Masu's so low in HP, and Duro and Canyon start the fight confident that Keen's coming in. The sleep being burned means that Keen is so confident to slide in.
Yeah.
Busio doesn't have ult, Masu doesn't have ult, and is super low. And there's just no real response that can come through to deal with this Gwen.
And something that everyone will talk to you about is how good Brom is early on. Oh my God, that sign. Innovation. Go shout out to that person. That's a cool sign. I feel like LCK has cool signs. So you start having the, you know, the ones that move?
Yeah, that's the meta.
That is the meta in LCK. Yeah, signs are so goated. What was I talking about? I was talking about Brom and skirmishes. Broken, I think, is just an easy way to say it.
He's very good.
He's very good early on.
There's so many champions who are great at stacking it. It's everyone but Ryze, basically, is just a great stacker of the Braum passive.
But now Quad is going to actually play up against Keen. There's option here. Petrifying Gaze still available, but it looks like we're going to fight again because Canyon's found his way in. Busio, he's got concussive blows on his head. There is no lilting Lullaby to be pulled out yet, but Inspired has it in his pocket as GENG hover around bot. Second Dragon on the cards for them.
Yeah, this will be feats of strength as well for GENG if they can secure it. FlyQuest will force them away, and it's important to note Keen not in a position to teleport right now with Quad up in his face. And I think with GENG, I wouldn't really want to fight if this Gwen isn't available personally with how important Keen has been so far. It looks like they are just going to give the Dragon over. Bwippo's going to get some plates, and FlyQuest get a pretty positive outcome here.
And Bwippo's been keeping up in CS. He's been mismatched in this lane. While Keen went up for the fight, Bwippo was obviously just pushing around. And so from 1,200 the lead to 750, Bwippo is definitely making this set. Draw some eyes from GENG.
Yeah, I think the person who suffered the most is Masu, who's quite a bit behind.
For sure.
Obviously fell behind in lane, but I think maybe the swaps have favored Whippo more than it's favored Masu. Souls-wise, I hear it's a little bit, but as long as you are getting a decent amount of soul stacks, he's not too far behind, you're going to be okay. And once you have the Shiv, you can start to pick up farm quite consistently on the center.
Yep.
But this center coming online is really important.
Engage, though, setting down with the trap. Zero might be caught out. The wall's up, but he wants to stand behind. He'll get rooted up anyway, and an ulti from Masu that aligns the straight. Whippo with a face breaker just out of range as Canyon looks for him for an escape, but even as he gets over the wall as Whippo, he'll just knuckle him down. Double for Fly.
That's such a good route there from Masu over the wall. Knew exactly what Duro was going to go for there with the leap, and as a result, they get both Canyon and Duro for that play. Nice little 1-2 from FlyQuest. And a really positive play has put them equal in gold, equal in dragons. And they'll even take this red buff as well.
And Whippo's got attack speed in this lane. There's no full completed item for the 3-0 Gwen. So with Stride Breaker out, quick pushing, sticky movement, and GENG will go back to how they got caught here.
Yeah, I mean, I think just a little bit over-aggressive. Duro got in with the blast cone. Chase potential is there, and then he wants to W to Canyon, but look at Masu who predicts. Knows Canyon's over the wall. The root ends up catching them both, ults to follow, and then Canyon gets hit by the Lydia ability and tries to juke and just ends up going down.
Some much needed goal for FlyQuest. This early game was a horror, turned into now some kind of reciprocal factor where FlyQuest has caught back up. And Masu will do a soul count for you all. 40 on the right side of your screen. You see now just hit at 13 minutes. So he does feel like he could be a little bit behind, but let's find out as he might just die before we talk about him any further. Culling cancelled early because the damage on Busio will be enough to step back. Almost kills him with the auto attacks, but Lilting Lullaby is a two-man. Inspired gets the snooze and onto Roar as he gets away. He gets circled by Inspired. The deers in headlights out. No, the flash away. Busio, the recovery, great. Inspired gliding away. He gets out of everything almost. Canyon whacks him down. Whippo's now joined in. Hang on a minute. Showstopper over the wall, and we're throwing haymakers everywhere.
Whippo comes in clutch with the cleanup there. Such a scrappy back and forth, and in the end, it's a 3-for-3. Masu overstepping a little bit at the start, but in the end, the cleanup is there. And I mean, Inspired is doing a lot of damage in these fights. We'll see the replay. So Masu just ends up stepping up a bit. Canyon finds a great angle. Busio does his best to try and peel here. And then we end up getting the cleanse from Ruler early on. So Inspired's like, okay, I can go for an ult. Just completely deletes the Lucian here. So much damage. But then Duro does a great job with the flash to land the Q. They get the stun. But then once again, so much damage from the Lydia.
Yeah.
It nearly finishes off Canyon there. Canyon just clutches it out, but Whippo comes in.
Stride breaker it.
Kill. Busio, if he'd survived there, that would have been pretty clutch.
Man, it's just clutch again, the FlyQuest. You said it. Game one, they just keep sending Hail Marys. They're like, okay, we're losing some of these fights. Let's just keep going. Let's keep going. They're not afraid. And FlyQuest, it's great to see that here after the early game disaster that was that 3-kill Gwen, they've mitigated it. Look at Whippo now. Gold's almost even, 3 kills himself. It was the difference of him getting his item first. He's able to move up. And with that double in his back pocket, also trailing on levels and getting closer to where Keen is now, I feel like FlyQuest can be a lot more confident. They have a top laner again. They might have a fight again as Herald spawns. Yeah, Herald spawns, so could see both teams looking towards that one. Do have flash on Masu, but he's playing quite aggressively now. Got to be a little bit cautious. Be careful.
For Duro, poke onto him.
He's going to be rooted down. Busio's going to take that advantage. That's free souls for Masu, but more importantly, good damage. But Herald resets. It's going to go back to its home as Shelly decides another day. I think it's super risky just to start it up because if you're trapped in that area and Wukong approaches, Gwen approaches, you can be really vulnerable. I don't know if that's a GENG fan or a FlyQuest fan. Could be both. You're just taking a beating at the moment. Yeah. Ghost now pop. I think that was from Duro as well. He gets his flash back. Busio tanked up a little bit as well. 45 souls, 16 minutes is the count for Masu. Just quick by the by that he does have static shield, static shiv, and a slingshot, but Ruler obviously the one with the biggest gold lead in the game right now individually. He's 50 CS up and he's almost the second item, so obviously if Ruler, if he auto attacks his wife, then Masu's going to get, you know, a lot of HP traded off. He has a lot of burst. Definitely will when he gets the second item.
Dragon is up and available now, so GenG's committed to the Herald. But we'll see Inspired move over the Dragon instead. And it's an Infernal Soul, which would be massive this game if it can be secured. Herald's going to get taken, and they are moving down to see if they can get to Dragon in time. It's still very high on HP. There's a lot of DPS on it, though, even this early in the game. See Quad now starting to hit it. It is going down fast.
Power of Lilia with Liandry's. Bureau's coming in, spotted out. Herald now mid. The power play from GenG is to open up the map and maybe go for inner as well. No defense available here as FlyQuest will get the Dragon, but Inspired doesn't have a clear target. So many mites and minions in the way, and with the Dragon going down for the mid lane trade, it is still a gold lead here for GenG at 17.
Yeah, GenG get the Herald, get mid tower. They can be okay with that, with the outcome of that. But second Dragon for FlyQuest.
I wonder if he can kill him. No, he needs Lilia, he needs Inspired, and it is going to happen. 2 versus 1. Swell Seed misses. That's a start. Stride Breaker slows him down, and Keen's got nowhere to go. He's stuck to the ground. Sleepy time indeed, and as he sits there waiting, again, it's the showstopper in the end. Double ulti, but Keen, hang on. Almost bringing it back, but too much shielding. The kill goes to Inspired, and Keen is down. Yeah,
well played. Both of them able to get inside the Shroud, and Inspired gets to sleep off. No real way for Keen to escape, so a good kill picked up there. FlyQuest continuing to make proactive plays in this game around this Lilia.
Opens up for Bwippo to get the push in. He's going to back now, probably sitting on quite a lot of gold, actually. We'll check in a second. Hullbreaker second, or Overlord's Bloodmail. Those are the two maybe options here. Tunneler picked up. Shows one thing for now. Busio, though, just taking a culling. He's got nowhere to go. Auto attack galore. Ruler almost taking out the Featherman so low. And he gets quite low as he has to run away.
I think when you get the set build, you just have a ton of HP, ton of AD, and you get the Haymaker off, and it's just a million
It feels so good. You get the true damage, and it's amazing late game.
When also, you flash to redirect, and it's just one shot.
Oh, yeah. That's the set micro, isn't it?
The set special.
It is a shame that he doesn't have a hard tank to throw into the rest of his team this game, but, like, you got bruises. You know, you got a bit of health to play with on Duro and Canyon.
Do you know what's the funniest thing is when there's like a CC immune tank or something?
Oh, and he throws nothing?
And he throws nothing, but it still does the damage?
It does, yeah.
So he just
throws air onto the ground.
The best is like when there's a Morgana shield and a Cho'Gath.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like you just grab nothing. And slam and do a million damage. He does have to be careful here, though.
He does indeed. He's got a bit of health to play with if he sticks around, but he will not. Chovy's going to open up this turret. And again, the gold trade. GenG, they already got feats before, but they're definitely on the warpath here in this game as well. It's still kind of their game in the early game, but remember, second Dragon went over to FlyQuest. There will be a forced fight in 2 minutes 30. Arakan up in 25 as well. This game is far from over. FlyQuest still have a lot of options here, and Dan the man has already told you about what Inspired can do on this Lilia in this game if he gets the time.
You see Canyon waiting in the wings. But yeah, I feel, it's a lead for GenG. They have the piece of strength, they have more pedals. But I feel like it's still anyone's game. And Senna on the side of FlyQuest, Cassiopeia, the tools they have in these 5v5s.
Yeah.
A lot of things I think FlyQuest have in pocket with the champions they picked, but it's also GenG's team fighting, which is scary to go into.
I also feel like
now around the Arakan.
I also feel like Masu's MSI Senna was the most reliable out of anyone's. Like, he was one of the best centers at that tournament as Busio. Face checking, has to be careful, but he is Rakan after all. So if there's anyone who can scale up, it's definitely going to be him. As GenG is just trying to get themselves priority up at this top lane. Arakan sits there waiting, but no one from GenG nearby. Canyon's around bot, and Chovy as well is just backing off after getting bot push. And just feel like they're waiting for these second items, Orcs, because Nash is now picked up for Keen. And second item is Boots actually acquired by Chovy too, the upgrades.
They just keep burning these blue trinkets, forcing FlyQuest to use them to check. They definitely are trying to bait this objective, but it's so dangerous to start it. Especially, a lot of short-range champions around the Arakan, you're getting shredded by it. FlyQuest could do so much damage if you're in there.
Culling. Quad takes half. Can't zone out, can't do much to Ruler. He stays at full HP on the side. Duro is zoning. GenG walking in ever so quietly. FlyQuest, though, they've got an alarm in this area, and it's going off right now. Quad's going to heal up a little bit thanks to Refillable, but it's not going to be much. He needs a duel for that. He
does have Rod of Ages and a bit of healing in his kit, so, it's slow, but he will get some health back. And FlyQuest push their way in, get some vision down, and now looking.
They're going to use heal as well. Ruler might be caught out, but he's got his flash, he's got his cleanse. Going to burn one of them as Juro defends nicely. Glacial Fisher down. Artican might reset patience here as Swell Seed doesn't do much. Canyon is now on the path as well, but Chovy's pushing down bot side. Blippo has to respond. Both solo laners with TP, but Artican is going to reset, so it's not like Fly have a lot to work with much.
It's a bit risky. You know, you can see the Shred starting to come in. Pushio can do a bit of healing, queuing Artican to get some health back for them. But Genji are here to respond. I don't think you want to start this up. I know you're getting pressured by Chovy and the rest of the lanes, but I think starting Artican would be a mistake. Dragon is up and available right now.
It is. Chovy's walking up though. Genji are just going to start this themselves. They've got a lot of true damage from Keen. FlyQuest have to respond now.
Oh, these are some good TPs.
Their flanks, their sandwiches. Keen and Canyon are walking into one Realm Warp to get them out, but the whole of Genji are now here on the teleport. But the showstopper makes Genji cry a little bit, and Bwipo, hey, make it down as well. A 3-man losing lullaby. Petrifying Gaze doesn't work out for Quad, but they're going to still find the kills on the damage, thanks to Masu's piercing darkness. As he lines down the straight, Genji is so low, and Artican is going to be taken away. Chovy tries to step up, but there's another route. Chovy caught out, flash away, but Bwipo under turret will care not. His haymaker sets Chovy straight as Masu picks up a kill.
Such a good fight from FlyQuest, and the approach with the TPs. I think Genji must have miscalculated. Did they think it was Quad who was coming in on that TP? Because going into that point with the set coming in, that was prime opportunity for Bwipo, and he took that chance to disrupt Genji.
That's a great question, right? Did they think it was Quad?
Because you look, both TPs on the right is Quads, on the left is Bwipo's, and if you look at how they move in, if this is Quad, this is great. But when Bwipo arrives, he just slams them, and he takes this chance to do so much work. And then this huge sleep that comes in from Inspired means that Ruler and Canyon have to run away. The ult comes in as well. And I think the angle of approach from FlyQuest here was so good. Chovy ends up overstaying, gets caught out. Now set up for Dragon here. FlyQuest trying to get position.
Masu also has a bit of range in this fight as well. 2 items, I believe, as well. He's starting to do some damage. You see in the bottom of your screen, but focus up. This Dragon is number 3, and FlyQuest want it. Being taken down slowly but surely. Bwipo's not here. Genji, they're in the river. They have control. I mean, it's going to be a flip, but it's taken away. Genji, get it. FlyQuest now have to run out as Genji. Maybe they're the ones who actually have to run as well, but Chovy gets himself a bit of damage down. Quad gets zoned out. Culling is good as well, but Bwipo takes no damage. Flash, Facebreaker in, Showstopper down. What? Bwipo time, but he doesn't get too much else. Inspired goes in just to die. Bwipo now dead as well. There's no front line, and even though Quad gets a good ulti, Gen.G have disassembled the fight, and Korea roars once again.
Misplay there from FlyQuest, but Genji instantly dismantle. Bwipo tries to force forwards, and now they're still looking for Quad. Canyon will find him.
He will indeed. It's a bonk down. The final piece of the puzzle to go towards Baron. FlyQuest, it's another game of inches, but unfortunately, it seems an inch too far.
Genji gonna get Baron off the back of that. And I think FlyQuest a little bit overconfident after they got that fight around Artican, try and force a bit too hard, and Ruler outplays Bwipo, and everything starts to fall apart after that point. I think the composition, you know, it works so well when Genji are coming into you, but they try to rush forward, they try to force forwards, and it really didn't work out well. A big blow there. 3,500 gold lead now for Gen.G, and with Baron in pocket, they're going to look to extend that even more.
We're going to have a look at a replay in a second, and I feel like this fight might be the straw that breaks the camel's back, honestly. We'll see in a second. Baron coming out of base here for Gen.G. There's no objective up. But as you said, it's really well escalated, Orcs, that Gen.G, they got run into.
They keep trying to force in, and they're taking so much damage from like the Culling and the ult, and then Bwipo is charging forwards at Ruler.
He's so separated.
But the dash comes in, and we see Inspired get CC'd as he's trying to move in. Chovy on the flank is threatening Quad. Masu's trying to move forwards, and Keen's able to counterpunch. And a lot of the tools that FlyQuest have are good at like peeling backwards against these short-range champions. The range advantage isn't really working when Masu is running forwards and allowing like Gwen to dash into him.
Yep.
And it's why the composition just didn't really play to its strengths there, and Gen.G able to capitalize and punish.
It does feel like FlyQuest outdiffed in that last fight then, and The Baron now, the escalation of this game to the elimination of this quarterfinal. GENG siege has only just begun.
I think it's one of those moments where if they'd gotten the dragon, they probably would have been happy to go, okay, we got the dragon, let's leave. But you feel sore after losing an objective.
You want something, you need a trade, right?
Yeah, and now GENG, 5,000 gold up, taking more and more structures. Significant advantage. They are trying to see if they can find something inspired, looking for some bowling balls.
Yeah, some good wave clear. Quad though might have found a pick onto Chovy. Quickness flashed in with the hero's entrance, and it is heroic indeed, but Petrifying Gaze looked away from Chovy. Is an inch too far again. FlyQuest looking for the chase. They want the Realm Warp though, and GENG are going to take it and get out. FlyQuest chase again, nullified.
So close, honestly, to finding the kill, but Chovy a bit too bulky and the damage is not quite there. The ult for Masu just missing, but the locket, Duro is there to keep him safe regardless. Now Keen.
He's got no help here. If a bowling ball hits again, but it does not, so Keen just walks it out.
Yeah, able to get away. And the thing is, you know, they weren't able to take an inhibitor tower, but they were able to get a lot of standing gold there. 4,000 Baron power play there to 6,000 gold lead. This point of the game, and GENG super far ahead on the back of that. It feels frustrating because I think FlyQuest were in a great position on the back of the Arakan fight, but GENG are ruthless.
They're great to watch. FlyQuest, you have to say, is quad can be rooted up by Chovy. So phase rush even through the Rylars is going to be enough for Chovy just to disengage. Not much damage given over.
I think this is sadly it's going in the direction of another one of those series where FlyQuest really challenging.
Yep.
But you're wondering what if, and I hope FlyQuest aren't letting it get to that point. You just think this game is still winnable. It's hard from here, but last game was hard and they really give it a fighting chance.
Yeah,
so
they did.
Just focus on what they can do from here. Dragon up in 50 seconds. A lot of summoners available for GENG though. So maybe see if they can try and find an angle, find a good flank angle, because I think it's harder to just fight head on when those are available.
So let's give some cope angles. This teleport comes in, and that's just Duro joining the fray. FlyQuest, I'm seeing 3 items center with 82 souls. Yes, needs a little bit more time, but still, center's getting to that point. Cassio getting to that point. We talked a little bit about scaling.
I think
it's a cope angle, but it's still...
I think they're just letting the dragon go.
Yeah?
If I'm being honest. If you look at how the map's playing out.
Only third Drake.
Yeah, I think that's the call. 6,000 is a big lead right now, and I think they'll find better opportunities other times. The things with the dragon as well is that you don't get a real advantage from them being on the dragon. It's not like it does very much damage compared to like a Baron.
True.
And they already have such control of the area. They're pushing up now, but it's too late. So I think give them the dragon, that's fine, you know. It's obviously not ideal, but...
They want to pick afterwards. But GENG happy to fight. There's a flash immediately from Ruler, but look at where FlyQuest jungle supporter. Onto Duro, however, the supporter GENG may be more caught out as Culling comes through, and Ruler is just free-firing. Rat-tat-tat-tat, look at him go. Meanwhile, Bwipo dealing with Chovy on the side, but the rest of FlyQuest are getting blown out of proportion. Bwipo in a 2 versus 1 won't win that, and now that Quad is the only snake left standing. It's FlyQuest mid who has to get a kill to trade off. Petrifying Gaze is beautiful, but the Brom's in the way. Duro makes it hard to call that worth as Masu is the last remnant of FlyQuest.
Heavy blow from GENG. You know, they try and find an angle. They get a flash from Ruler, but now GENG might just push to end the game. Keen does so much damage to structures. Now I was hoping they'd fight another day. I don't think they'll get that chance.
As you said, FlyQuest, it's the what if, it's the close calls, it's the honorable performance in the quarterfinals at EWC, but GENG 2025 is quickly becoming their year as they look towards another Nexus turret, yet another Nexus. Teams have challenged them, but they cannot triumph over GENG this year.
Don't think it's too much of a surprise. GENG, the MSI champions, but FlyQuest, again, giving them a good fight, making them wait for it. And GENG, though, came in as tournament favorites, and I think that momentum is going to continue.
Ever since last split, moving into MSI, now into EWC, this has been their year. I guess you take first stand out of the equation then for that statement to be truly correct, but you know what I mean. It's quickly becoming a very powerful year for the org again, but you look at their roster, you're not too surprised why. Duro continues performing out of his mind. Another honorable mention. He is what they'd call a thorn among the roses, but he's quickly flowering.
I think Duro was the question mark coming into the year, and he's proven himself again and again.
Yeah.
To the point that I have no questions left for him. You know, I have so much confidence in him as a player, and the whole team is stacked, and it's just really how far can they go. You know, they've looked great at MSI, they won that tournament, they're looking great right now, and it just really is a question as how long are they going to continue their dominance in this year.
Well, we get a question answered against G2. That'll be the next matchup. That's only tomorrow as well, by the way. But ladies and gentlemen, GENG's success moves them to the semi-final. Fancy and Duro are going to have a chat before the next key is crushed.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We're back on stage with Duro after smooth sailing from GENG up to the semi-finals. So I want to start this Amazon winner interview. Duro, you were able to secure MSI as your second year as a pro player. I just want to know, how is it like to grow so much as a player, being around so many seniors?
일단 듀로 선수 승리 축하드리고요. 첫 번째로 드릴 질문은 일단 데뷔 2년 차에 또 MSI 우승컵을 들어 올리시고 또 이렇게 EW에 오셔서 이렇게 또 큰 무대에 계속해서 오르시게 됐는데 지금 좀 소감이 어떠신가요?
일단 당연히 2대0으로 이겨서 기분은 좋고요. 뭐 MSI 우승도 해서 기분은 좋은데 아직 더 올라갈 산이 있다고 생각하기 때문에 더 열심히 하도록 하겠습니다.
Yeah, it is very exciting that I have won the MSI, but I think there's still more way to go. So I'm gonna put my best until the end.
Well, there's a lot of history between GENG and FlyQuest, and we heard from the FlyQuest guys that you guys have scrimmed a lot during MSI. So I want to know, how was your preparation individually to them for this match?
이제 그 이전 인터뷰에서 이제 플라이퀘스트 선수들이 이제 젠지와 굉장히 또 MSI 때 스크림을 많이 했다고 또 얘기를 해줬었거든요. 그래서 스크림 파트너로서 어떻게 보면 좀 서로를 많이 알고 계셨을 것 같은데 선수 본인 스스로로서는 좀 어떻게 준비를 하셨는지 궁금합니다.
일단 늘 하던 대로 스크림 데이터를 이제 티어 분석을 좀 열심히 했고요. 이제 개인 기량도 올리는데 열심히 좀 중요했던 것 같습니다.
I did just what I used to because I analyzed all the scrim data and also at the same time I tried to enhance myself as a player. So I think that worked well.
Absolutely. Well, now that GENG has won their first elimination match, they get to crush their first key on the stage for Esports World Cup League of Legends, and you get to do that. Are you excited?
이제 또 젠지가 이렇게 또 e스포츠 월드컵에 와서 또 처음으로 이렇게 키를 또 부수게 됐는데 그것도 듀로 선수가 이렇게 첫 주자로 이렇게 하시게 됐어요. 어떻게 좀 기분이 어떠신가요?
지금 그 TV로만 봤는데 이제 실제로 보게 되면 어떤 기분일지 정말 기대가 됩니다.
Yeah, I only watched on TV, so I'm very excited how it's gonna be.
Well, now you get to do it yourself, so let's move to the key crushing machine. And congratulating you once again for getting to the semi-finals. This is GENG's first key crush in Esports World Cup League of Legends. So again, we will let you enjoy this moment.
Hey everyone, this is Kitty for the losers interview with FlyQuest Busio. So unfortunately, you guys weren't able to top GENG this time around, and you weren't able to find your revenge. So what went wrong today?
I mean, many specific things in game that we could do better, but overall, I feel like we didn't play like ourselves. We were either too scared at times or too hasty at others, and I just think we weren't as calm as usual, and that led to us losing.
And this is also your first time versing Ruler versus Duo, Ruler and Duo as a duo in bot lane. So walk me through what laning phase was like and what their presence was like in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, both are excellent players, best in the world, but me and Masu had no trouble in lane this series. Game 1, we accomplished everything we wanted to accomplish, and Game 2, we also had a good situation, so from my perspective, we did pretty good in lane.
And of course, we wanted to talk about the mid game, which was the turning point for specifically Game 2, where you guys were able to grab some gold back. So let me know what the comms were like going into the late game.
Yeah, I mean, we were just discussing the usual stuff, flashes, where we're gonna fight, you know, when we're strong, items, stuff like that. And probably our biggest downfall was in the bot side fight. We just went too hard when I didn't have my ult, and yeah, it was just like I didn't strong call enough that I didn't have ult, and we started a pretty bad fight and lost the game.
And unfortunately, that does mean the LTA North has been officially eliminated from the Esports World Cup with only G2 representing the West. So do you have any words for your brethrens that made it to the semifinals?
Yeah, good luck to them. They've been playing pretty well, so hopefully they can go far.
Thank you so much, Busio. Can we get one final goodbye to FlyQuest from the stage? Thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you very much to Kitty and Busio for that interview after a tough loss. I mean, you saw it in the look there by Inspired, constantly pulling GENG in the knockout phases and still trying to find ways and answers to get victories here. And unlike G2 able to battle against their demons against BLG, FlyQuest will have to look to another tournament, another matchup in the future for the win. But it does feel great